Hey everyone, it's me. So I am still washing clothes. I have been working. You'll be proud of me. I have been working on the family room. Um, for the last, well, I did take the weekend off, so I did do some. I don't think I did any yesterday because I went to see my mom, but Monday and I'm working on some today. So hopefully the family room will be done. It will not be perfect. I will still have some of my mom's stuff in the family room, but it will be more organized and things that just need thrown away or put away. Um, so I will still have stuff in the corner, but hopefully not as high as it was and crazy. And um, it's really difficult going through. I can't even imagine. Like, okay, so I don't think I've told you guys this. Maybe you guys already assumed this. So I can't say I haven't had anyone close to me, obviously, pass. I mean, I have. Um, I, have had a friend, in high school. I had, my grandma, my dad, um, people, but it wasn't, my niece. So a lot of people and cousins, uh, and aunts, and, I mean, obviously family, right? But this is the first time I've been responsible, I guess, for their belongings or what happens to anyone. When my grandma passed, it was in a different state, and my mom kind of took care of that from here. Anyways, it was just, again, um, so this is my first time that I've, like, somebody has lived in my house and I've had to go through their stuff. And yes, my mom is still living. Um, and but I feel like she's not, I guess, going through her stuff. So it's been very difficult for me to go through some of it. But some of me says maybe it's better if I go through it now than when something does happen. Which, of course, knock on wood, something could happen to any of us right before her. But, you know, um, so, but it still kind of feels creepy. I don't, sad, I guess, really. Um, Not creepy, sad. Anyway, so, yeah. But, I did get some things thrown away. I have some things for giveaway. There's books that I will probably never read because I'm not a reader. I've mentioned that in other videos. But then again, I'm like, do I? And they're my mom's, and she's not gonna read them. I wish she would. Um, I remember. I know I'm so depressing. Probably the last couple of videos, and I apologize. Um, to if I'm making anyone depressed or down or you know. Um, I remember when even just I can't even say when I was younger. Probably in the last 2 or 3 years, really. My mom always said, "You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna wish that I was being dramatic and making all the sounds and screams and stuff." Like she didn't scream, but she was very I can't say it, so I'm gonna try. Don't make fun of me. Theatrical, cool. Theatrical. Um, and she always thought she was like 19. And believe me, she had the energy of a 19-year-old more than I do any day. She could run laps around me, I think. Um, But yeah, so she was very outgoing, very noisy, very unique. People, a lot of older people her age didn't like her, but then the younger people thought she was too old. Um, so she and I were all, it was just the two of us always. Um, she never dated, if so, I didn't know about it. Once she had me, um, I was her world. I was her everything. She never dated, which that's just because of her history in men, partly. I think she was a little curious in dating, but she never did it. Um, Anyways, it was just the two of us, until I had my family. And then, she came here and became part of our family, obviously, this family, more. Um, and we did everything together. Even now, we did everything together. We went everywhere together. But yeah, we did everything together. Um, outside the home. We went everywhere, like anywhere she went, I was pretty much with her. Anyway, so, she was always protective of me. And, yeah, so going through her stuff is a little weird. I haven't even touched, like, her room and stuff in there. This is just stuff in the family room. So there's nothing, like, private in the family room at all. I put everything in there that's there when we made her bed there after her stroke. But it still feels weird, like, I don't know. So I do, yeah. Again, she, loved reading books. So there's quite a few books. Actually, we have less books than she used to. You should have seen our last house, and she had like 3 huge bookcases of books because her plan was to sell them, like on eBay or Amazon or something. It didn't work out, and so she finally did get rid of those. But yeah, so I did work on the family room today. So I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with IBS. There's IBS diarrhea, IBS constipation, or you can switch between the two. And my mom she has IBS. I also have IBS. So far, knock on wood again, it's not as bad as my mom's, but when I have a problem, I have a problem. So, yeah, so I had Burger King today, and yeah, that acted up. Um, Thankfully, I've been staying at home today. Um, I have a hard time, like, eating out in public. If I do go out, like, with a friend or my husband, I can eat, but I gotta get straight home. Like, desperately. So yeah, it's not fun because you don't know what's gonna upset it always. Like, some people know what starts theirs. I haven't put it together, for me. So I had that problem today. I don't even think I told you guys my son missed his bus this morning. Yeah, so I kept him home yesterday just because I felt like we needed a mental day after all the drama with my other son. We just needed a mental day. And plus, I had that bad headache I told you guys about. And so, yeah. So I got up early. I made coffee. I did all that stuff, which I think I mentioned in a previous video. And there was no reason he should have missed his bus except for that he walks as slow as a turtle. I swear he does. And like, I can't watch him. Once he goes outside, I cannot watch him because I want to go push him and make him go faster. And the funny thing of it is, my mom used to say the same thing about me when I was younger. she's like, I couldn't watch you because I wanted to push you. So yeah, I'm getting, what is it? They always say you get 10 times back. Yeah, well, I don't know about 10 times, but I'm definitely getting back apparently what I put out there, or my mom felt like I put out there. So yeah, he missed the bus, so I did get my oldest to agree to take him around lunchtime, which they have lunch at like 11:30. So, he did take him. Of course, that's not without, a little bribe of like Dunkin' Donuts, right? Coffee. But it was worth it because I'm trying to keep my son in school this year as much as possible. So yeah, so I told you guys about the wonderful visit I had with my mom. So this evening, so around 3:30, I called my mom, and yeah, I'm glad I mean, I hate to say I'm glad I didn't go, but she was definitely out of it. She at first said she didn't remember me being there yesterday. Um, but then when I explained to her, like, we had Dunkin' Donuts, you had iced tea, she remembered that. So then she recalled me being there. When I called, she told me they wanted me to come there and give them urine. If I was, she wanted to know if I was in the country to give, so I could come there and give them urine. Because if not, they were gonna break her skull. I don't know where she gets this stuff. I don't, like, that stuff isn't from her past. And it was supposed to be urine under the table. That was really confusing. And then she was telling me how they broke her heart and all this stuff. So, I don't know what happened, but she ended up, I stayed on the phone because I thought she was going to try to give it to someone else. But then I hear her, like, slamming the base, like, trying to hang it up, I think. So, one of the CNAs came over and took the phone, didn't put it up to her ear and hung it up, and I was like, I just can't call back, you know. And I hate to feel that way, but it's difficult. So yeah, I mean, everybody, that's the whole thing, is like, I feel like I have so much going on, in my life right now. Um, that, I mean, if you count my husband and the problems I'm having with him, if you only understood the problems I have with my oldest son and have had, for this past school year. Yeah, I think it was this past school year. So the school year we're in now, we've had a lot of issues with him, and it's not just his autism. I mean, I think it does come from it because of not understanding and how to deal with your feelings. Obviously, he used to go to behavioral school, and they teach them how to, deal with your feelings and different fidgets and things and to do to help yourself calm down. But it was like he did them at his school, but at home he didn't do them or try to do them. And I always kept different, like, fidgets and different things that he could do, but he just never would do them. And so the problem is that he doesn't know how to sort through his feelings. And so it's caused, a lot of school problems, and a lot of wellness checks, I will say. And that's been difficult, because again, you know, again, I mean, no, I don't have to deal with it because he's an adult, but I do because it is, like, in my house, right? It's in my house. The wellness checks are coming to my house, and it's just, and of course, I mean, obviously, even if you're not involved, being in the same house, you're involved, you're, affected. by the way he's acting and by, people coming into your home, right? You might be sitting in your nightgown and here comes a wellness check that you didn't know was going to be coming, if you wear nightgowns or, or less even, so yeah, so that affects me definitely. And, you know, and if you're familiar with autism, it's really hard for them to make friends. And, he had one good friend left, and that has seemed to ended just recently. And you can imagine that's not sorting itself out very well. So between my husband, my son, and my mom, and me trying to keep track of all her stuff and remember to, thankfully, I don't think we have any appointments until, next month. They start up again. I have, a lot of appointments, and, I'm one that, I've had so many health problems, as you guys might know. It's not just my heart. I've had other health problems. The funny thing of it is, knock on wood again, that all my health problems that I've had are not from my weight, believe it or not, is what I've been told. One of my, I guess you could say, health problems is that I have a lump in my, boob area. And I have to get it checked every 6 months. So that's one of my appointments. Luckily, so far, nothing's changed and it's always looked the same. Of course, once I hit that age, I had to start getting them. So they had nothing to compare it to. So I go back every 6 months to get it checked out. I have echoes for my heart. I have so many, keep an eye on it problems, And so, those start up here in March again, all these appointments. And so, yeah, I am to the point, right now, I don't call my friends. I am going out with one of my friends tomorrow, which I'm excited about. And I always have a great time. But talking on the phone and reaching out to some of my friends, I guess I just like to be in my bubble right now, as my husband would call it. He always tells me I'm in my own little world. I'm in a bubble. And he's probably right. I like to protect my bubble, which means my family, and my home, as much as possible. And I probably am in a bubble because I am exhausted. And what people don't seem to understand is because they see me so strong, or they think I am, that I can handle anything. And I hate that, and I've told them I can't. You can only handle so much. And none of them have had to be as strong as I am. Women are stronger than people think. We juggle so much. And especially those that, you guys that go out to work and juggle everything. You're amazing. I couldn't even imagine trying to do all that, personally. So, good job, because you guys are definitely the GOAT. Anyway, so, but again, being stay-at-home mom and wife is very difficult in itself. Because everything falls, on us. And it's very difficult. So, yeah. The one thing that my mom, and I brought up weight before, we've talked about it. One thing that my mom always hoped for is to see me thin, not like a size 2, not a size 10 even, not even a size 14, because that's not realistic, right? Not for me. She always hoped before she passed that she would get to see me at least thinner, healthier, right? And I disappointed there too. Obviously, we didn't know she was going to have a stroke and end up with dementia right after having a stroke. Who would have ever guessed? Because she did not have problems before her stroke. There was no indication ever that she was going to end up with dementia. Which, yes, strokes can... it says they don't cause it. It says if you have a tendency to have dementia, which dementia does seem to run in, I guess, her side of the family. Pretty different people had it, I guess, in her family. But, again, she was put together. She was great, before her stroke. She was still driving. I never saw any problems. So, yeah. Anyways, not trying to depress you guys. I have to fold towels. And I'm trying to decide if I want to make dinner. I guess it will determine if my oldest wants the Burger King in the fridge or not. If not, it's going to be my husband's dinner, and I don't have to make dinner. Considering that tonight's a long night. So, yeah. So that is all my stories and ranting and venting and, again, I apologize. But, one great thing is I got to take a shower. I don't know about you guys, but even with my kids, I still can't take a shower without someone knocking at the door, needing my attention. I can't even use the bathroom still without all that. So I did get to take a shower with everybody out of the house today. So I did get that time, alone time, and time to shower. So that was one good thing today. And if we can find at least one good thing, we're doing great, right? And, we need to remember that. So if you can find one great thing today in your house, in your life, I call that a win. Talk to you guys later. Bye.